Hello everyone, I'm Mansi Nagar, your host for today's webinar Mind organized by Mentorsity. So, our today's topic is how does stress affect you and how will you overcome it? Okay, according to the survey, 70 to 88% of the Indian citizens suffer from stress and anxiety, right? So, we all face problems in our life. That is very obvious, right? But some of us may know how to overcome or cope up with the stress or anxiety what we are feeling, but most of us might not know how to overcome it. We all seek for mental peace and its stability, right? So our today's session is in relationship with the mental health and anxiety, and how can we achieve it. So without wasting much of your time, let's welcome our guest, Miss Maneesha Mathias, who is a motivational speaker, a content writer, and she writes blogs, articles, emails for different social media platforms and whatnot. So let's directly hear from her. Let's welcome Miss Maneesha Mathias. Welcome, Maneesha.
Thanks, Mansi. I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. You can start now, Maneesha.
Okay, thank you. I've yet to find a person who is not stressed. All of us feel stress sometime or the other in life. I think stress is quite common these days, and I don't think it's anything new, also. What exactly is stress? Stress is a feeling, an emotional feeling, a physical tension. Knowing your stress levels, and if you're able to deal with it, I think you can live a healthier life. Yeah, and basically that's what I want to talk to you about today. Am I audible? Can everyone hear me? Can you hear
Yes,
me?
Maneesha, you are audible. Yes.
Okay. Okay. So we continue with the topic on stress. And what I would like to say is, first of all, what are the consequences of stress? How does stress affect us? And I'd like to begin with the mental part of it, because mental health is a concern today. A lot of us are not able to sleep, not able to think rationally, panic attacks and all, or depression, and all of many of us are on a medication. If we could live life without medication, I think it would be beautiful also, especially where mental health is concerned. The first consequence on on our mental health is that we are not able to think straight when we are depressed. You would have heard of a number of children who have gone to answer their exams. They are students who have done very well in their lives. But somewhere they had had one failure, and that one failure would have put a fear in their minds, in their hearts, a thought that they cannot do things. And that could have, stressed them out to such an extent that the following exams were difficult to do. In fact, they would have gone to the examination hall and gone completely blank. It happens to the most of us. When you are in the stress, you cannot think straight. You cannot think properly. You cannot perform. Low productivity, or I can even say zero productivity. This is also the major cause of most of our failures. Stressed out, don't know what to do. The second thing is depression. You know, the brain also is an organ, and how much can it take? So when you keep thinking and overthinking and you don't get solutions, and then there is always the possibility of going into depression, a depression that I can't do it, a fixation that I cannot do it. How can you progress in life with that? You just can't progress in life like that. Your career can come to a standstill. All the good work that you have done in the past can come to a standstill. You could face interviews and not be able to get through them. You could get even this fear of standing in front of someone and talking, a lot of things. You could have one particular incident that happened in your life that could have triggered it, and that is ruling over you. uh, we have to work on it. The third situation is sadness. Like, everybody is doing well, but I'm not doing well. I'm the only one who is suffering. I'm the only one who is sad. Everybody is fine. Once a person told me, my brother is fine, my sister is fine, everybody is in good health. I'm the only one who is sick. Why am I sick? Now, this person was having a mental problem. She had psychosis. And, it was going on in her mind that I cannot lead a normal life. And most of us, whether even if it is a mental sickness today, there is medication and you can lead a normal life. You need to be treated, but that's only a doctor can advise you on that. What I want to point out here is, you need not go into that sadness, a depressive state, saying that there's no future for me, it's over, it's finished over here. And finally, the panic attack. This panic attack is so dangerous. When it sets in, you're so blank, you cannot go ahead. There's people who are frozen in place. There are people who have not even been able to perform. you know that's it. you know of course, then there are these physical ailments that we can talk about. We have a heart, the pressure levels rise, and that affects our heart very badly. Also, breathlessness. A lot of people, because of stress, have had asthma attacks. The obesity also is connected to stress. Diabetes, we know, is a stress oriented disease. Headaches, when you think too much, when you are too stressed up, you have a very bad headache, and then you say, I had a bad day. Depression, anxiety, which we spoke about. Alzheimer's, it's also, we all of us want to look young. There are times when people fall into the situation where they are having, premature, they are aging prematurely, and finally it is death. And we want to live, we don't want to die. And that is why we must try and find means to overcome stress. Now, how can we overcome stress? That's a major question that we have to answer today. What I believe in, use every situation to your advantage. And for that, I'd like to put forth an incident. The incident goes like this. There were two lepers, and it was in the ancient times, the good old times. And it was those times when it was considered, leprosy was considered a curse. Today we all know it is a disease that is treatable and people can be well again. In those days, people were, kept away from society. In this particular locality, in this particular country, people were treated so badly just because they had leprosy. They had to sit outside the city. They had to sit outside, and they could not meet people. They could not come in contact with people. I think we can understand the situation today with the recent pandemic. How we don't like to meet people who are sick, and if we know that they've been sick, how we keep away from them. Today, even stress, panic attacks, people have just because somebody sneezed around them, or somebody is not wearing their mask right. These people were seated at outside the uh, city gate, and it so happened that. The country to which they belonged was under the attack of the enemy, and the enemy was strong. They, they created a human fortress kind of around the city, and they did not allow any food supplies to come into that city, which meant the people were hungry in the city, and not for 1 or 2 days, for many days. They were stressed because of their hunger. And nobody was giving anything to the lepers also, because everyone was hungry. How could they had nothing to give. And hunger can cause a lot of stress. In this stressful situation, leper number one told leper number two, if you sit here, we are going to die of hunger, of starvation. Why don't we go to the enemy camp and ask them for some food? That's when, and leopard 2 told him, no, no, we can't do that. If we do that, those people will kill us. Yeah, those people will kill us, because we are lepers and we cannot mingle with people. We cannot have people around us. We cannot go and ask someone something. We cannot enter the city. So the leper number one said, what will they do? Maximum, they'll kill us. Over here also we will be killed. If we go there also we will be killed. So anyway, we are going to die. So why not try? Why not attempt something? So in that situation, this guy, he took his companion with him and he walked into the enemy camp. Now, when he reached the enemy camp, what happened was he sees that the enemy camp was empty. The enemy had fled, and there was a lot of food there because all the food that was going into the city was kept inside in their camp. They did not want, they wanted to break the will, they wanted to stress the uh, that particular city so that they will be weak and these people can win over them. So when they walked into the enemy camp, no one there. What had actually happened was the enemy camp was equally stressed because they were depriving food to that particular country. What they heard was heavy footsteps. In those days, lepers had to walk with heavy footsteps because people had to know that they were coming and they had to clear their path. They didn't want to come in contact with them. These were walking with heavy footsteps. Somehow, in their stressed out condition, it sounded like an army had come to attack them, and they felt that if this army attacks us, we don't stand a chance. Probably this particular country on whom we have laid siege has friends somewhere, and they have alerted their friends, and those people have come after us. Now we better rush. And they left everything as it is, and they rushed out. And there was enough of food, and these two lepers had their fill. They had enough to eat. And at the end of it, they decided, let's stay here and eat enough because we don't have to share it with anybody. It's just the two of us, and we'll have enough. But then there was a prick of conscience, and they said, no, no, this is not right. There's our city, our people who are hungry, so we must go there and feed them. And so they went there and they told them there's a lot of food, there's a lot of wealth. I think you should go and get it. But nobody believed them that the enemy was, had left the place, had run away, uh, had fled because they knew the enemy was strong. So the king, he sent a few people to check just in case it was a snare, it was a trap of the enemy. But they found that the lepers had told the truth and they had enough of food. One day they had no food, and the next day, they had so much, so much more than anyone could eat. What I would like to bring here is there was a stressful situation. These people could have, already they were stressed out because of the disease. They were outcast. They were treated badly by their own people. They could have just sat there and died. But they decided to do something else in that stressful situation. They decided to channel it in such a way that it could work for their advantage. So what they did here was they tried to fight the stress. They tried to overcome the stress. They tried to find a solution to their problem. And they found it. They not only saved themselves, but they saved the city. They saved the country. Similarly, we too can do the same. If we can find a way to overcome our stress, we can be not only victors, but we can help others too. Now, when you are in a stressful situation, what is the first thing that you would like to do? What should you do? First of all, try to get a breath of fresh air. When the situation is difficult over there, when the situation is not for you, try to move out of that place. Even if it is just a walk to the restroom or walk in the corridor or walk outdoors. Fresh, open, green places have a great impact on our mind. You'll get time to rethink, you'll get time to work it over, you'll get time to find solutions, and you can come back and present a solution and get out of the stress. You can be helped, and the people around you also can be helped. The next thing I would like to say is, you can't be everywhere all the time. You cannot do everything that you want to do. As human beings, we are limited. We can only go to places where it is possible to go. We can be at one place at a time. We can wear one set of clothing at a time. We can be in one room at a time. We can eat only one meal at a time. Even if you have a lot of money and a house of 100 rooms, and you have a wardrobe of say 100 garments, at a time you can wear only one. You can stay only on in one room. You can sleep only on one bed. You cannot, just because you own the place, you cannot be all over the place. You can get in there and you can come back, but at one particular time you can't be in 100 rooms. You're limited. You have limits. Know your limits. Don't push yourself beyond the limit. Set your goals. Let it be known to you what you can do, how much you can do. Don't try to do more than you can do. When you try to achieve more than you can achieve, or when you want to push yourself beyond your limits, it's going to be a stressful situation. There are going to be disappointments there. There's a lot of can't do there. There'll be a lot of things that you cannot do over there. And that can make you feel down, depressed. It can make you feel a failure, but that's not really true. It's just like you have to accept, this is how much I can do, this is where I can go, this is my capacity. Of course, there is this, there are times when people say, I've been trying 100 times, I have been applying for so many jobs and I'm not getting the jobs. Or why is it like that? Maybe I'm not good enough, maybe. What I would say is, take stock of the situation. Look where you're going wrong. No, like Mansi told you that I'm a freelance writer, and I started doing freelancing very late in life. In fact, I started doing it during the lockdown because I wanted to be productive. And during, it was hard. I had to learn a lot of things. Everything was new for me. I learned to use a lot of things. I had to know how to put forth the content. Yes, maybe I could speak English, but then putting it in words, there's a lot of that's different. It takes a lot of effort. Also, whom to reach out to, and I too applied to a million places. I received a lot of rejection, but then finally something worked out for me, and it's still working for me. Maybe if things are not working out for you, maybe you're not doing something right, maybe there's a gap somewhere. Take stock. Look where look up, there's something that you're not doing right. Find it out what is not right, and try to improve things. Yeah. All of us need human beings. We're not we can't live in isolation forever. We have to be around people. That's why I think, that's why I believe we have been put among people. We have family and friends. Also there are toxic people, and there are very wonderful people who calm you down, make you happy. People who are toxic could, every step of the way, they would point out to you and say, oh, this is not right, this is not right, you did this a few years ago and you could do it again. They could keep on putting blocks to your path. They could be hurdles. They could keep on telling you like, no, this is a failed path. You'll not be successful in this path, so stop it, don't do that. Just take it easy, you shouldn't be doing that. I would suggest that you stay away from such people. I think you could stay with people who make you happy, who encourage you, who believe in you, who keep reminding you of your past achievements, and they tell you all the time like, I know you can do this, and they will guide you. That they will tell you, I've been there and this is what I did, and it worked for me, I'm sure it will work for you too. We need people like that in our life. And when we are troubled, I think it would be good to meet these people and take some support, emotional support from them. Take a break from the situation altogether. Do some things that make you happy, lift up your spirits. A happy mind can work better. And then, we should also know when to say no and learn to say no. Everything is not yes. Sometimes what happens is like, there are times when you never get jobs, and then there are times when you get jobs and you don't want to say no, especially in business. You know your capacities. You cannot, you cannot fulfill the order in that given time. It's not humanly possible for you. Learn to say no. Learn to say no. A lot of people who do wrong things, and might be struggling with the habit, or might be struggling because from the burden of that wrong thing, uh, fell into that situation because they could not say no in the first instance. If they had said no at that time when their heart and mind was shouting no, I think their lives would be better. So you have to analyze when you can say yes, when you can say no, when it is good to say yes, when it is, it is hard for you. If you say yes or no, you should know that, and I think experience will teach you that. So if there is a wrong decision that you have made today, you would have said yes to something, and now in the long run, maybe in a 4 5 days, that you made a very wrong decision, and it's hard on you. There's another time. In that situation, you can think, you can rationalize, and you can decide right. If you didn't do it the second time also, you'd again some experience and you can do it the third time. Why give up? Why get stressed? Why take it hard? Why take it as, oh, I'm useless, I keep on doing this mistake over and over again? It's not like that. It's never like that. There's always another chance. Nothing, even if you fail an exam, that's not the end. There's always another chance to answer the exam. And I'm sure you'll do better because you'll be started studying again. You'll know where you went wrong. So every situation is for you to know where you have gone wrong, and to, not to say like, many of us find it difficult to accept that we are wrong. There, even this plays a very big role in our stress. We are so concerned, oh, if I say that I'm wrong, then people will point fingers at me. Somebody could advise you also which is the right path, show you the right path, and you could be successful. So there's no harm in accepting, yeah, this is a mistake I made over here. When you have accepted that you have made a mistake, also you're giving room to improvisation. And improvisation is the base of success. you know so, like, great people have said failure is a stepping stone to success. If you can accept it as that, I think it's a great thing to do. So learn to say no. Humans will always be humans. And you cannot please everybody, you cannot make everyone happy. Learn that you cannot make everyone happy. Then whom can you make happy? You can make yourself happy. You can make yourself happy. That's what is important, making yourself happy. Do things that are right with your conscience, that make you happy. And that's when you'll feel that inner joy. That inner joy will bring you success. Yeah. It's not necessary for everyone to like you. Someone could dislike you for no fault of yours. But then it's good also to analyze, why doesn't this person like me? Did I say something to disturb that person? It's good to say sorry. Sorry can break walls. Sorry can bring two distant hearts together. A true apology, or apology that comes from the heart, not like this. If I see that you're upset, if you're upset because I did something wrong, if I did something wrong, I know I'm not wrong, but if you feel that I'm something wrong, okay, okay, I'm sorry. That's not the way at all. That will not achieve anything, that will not help you, nor will it take away the grief from the other person. If if you see that your person, if the person is distressed, and you know it in your heart that you're not, a lot of people will not agree, but this is a tried and tested method that I have tried in my life, and it has helped me greatly. I might not have been wrong, I might have been 100% right, or I might have said something that might not, I never meant it like that. That person would have taken it that way and might have got hurt. I have gone to that person. I'm sorry about that. I don't think you can see me because the power suddenly went off. But just bear with me for a few moments. The power will come back on shortly. Until then, you can hear me. Yeah. So what I was saying is, I would have known that I was not wrong. I was right. I would have said a harmless comment, but that person would have got offended. I walked to that person and I said, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I see your pain. I'm really sorry. And, if that person really saw that I was genuinely sorry, that person not only forgave me, but, we ended up having a better relationship. You never know when you need a person. You never know when that person can help you. So it's better to make friends than enemies. And a simple sorry can help you that way. Yeah. And when somebody is irritated with you or angry with you, you could get stressed out on because of that also. Why is that person not talking to me? Also, when you are not in good terms with somebody, you allow that person to defame you, to badmouth you, to speak about you. And all of us are concerned about what people think about us. So when this person goes around and starts talking about us and we get to hear of it, it stresses us out. So, by not working on relationship, by not making it important to, to put matters right, to do everything in our control, to set matters right, we could keep the door open for more stress to come into our lives. you know After you have tried, also after you have tried to make matters okay, to set matters right, to patch up with this person who's very upset with you. If that person still cannot accept it, oh yes, that person is hurt, give them time to heal. And in the meantime, if they talk 100 things about you, let it be. Let it be. You know, basically, it's like you don't have to fight it because people know you. People are acquainted with you. Even if they don't know you now, in the long run, they will come to know you. Now, there are so many times when I've heard people say, somebody was telling them something about another person, and that person said, hey, that can't be. That I know that person. That person is not like that. That person could never have said that. Such things don't bother that person. So basically, people know what you are. So it doesn't matter who's talking about you. It doesn't matter who says what about you. you know because basically people know what you are, and people love you. Some people hate you, doesn't matter. You'll find some people stressing you out by imitating you. People keep doing what you're doing, dressing up like you do, saying what you say. You doing If you take up a particular course, they want to do that. If you got a particular promotion, they want that. If you bought a certain brand of car, they want that particular brand of car. It's okay. And now you may ask me, why is it okay? Do you know, if they are doing what you are doing, it means they appreciate what you're doing. So, uh, imitation is the best form of appreciation. What do you say? Imitation is the best form of appreciation. By imitating you, they are saying you're doing well. So, in henceforth, when somebody imitates you, don't get disturbed, don't get stressed. But instead of that, tell yourself, I'm doing well. That's why this person is appreciating me by doing what I do, is appreciating me by imitating me. Yeah. And from there, we go on to the next point. Always be grateful. Yeah. Always be grateful. There's so many things to be happy about. There's so many things to be grateful for. There was this elderly person who was sick with corona. I read about him in the newspapers. You would have done it too. And just reminding you of the situation. What he was saying? He was saying that uh, was very sick with corona, and he had to be put on a ventilator. And when he spent a few days on a ventilator, he recovered, he was well again, and it was time to discharge him from the hospital. Yeah, there we are in light again. Uh, so when they discharge him from hospital, of course, the hospital will give you a bill. Nothing is for free, And when the hospital produced him the bill, this man had tears in his eyes. So the doctor said something like, it's okay if you cannot pay the bill. It's completely all right. Don't worry about it. We'll take care of it. We'll find someone to cover it up. We'll find someone to help you out with it. You really don't have to worry about it. It's okay. Don't stress out. When this elderly person was told that, he wiped away his sweat and he looked at the doctor and he said, you know, I'm not crying for that. You gave me oxygen because I was connected to this ventilator for some days, a fortnight, and you are giving me a hefty bill that is running in lakhs. But I was just thinking, my creator, without me asking for it, has been providing me oxygen for so many years of my life for free. And that's why I was just thinking how great my God is. There's so much to be grateful about. There's so much to be grateful about. You and I are living, we're breathing, there's so many things to cherish, to enjoy, to be happy about, to grow in. There are so many people who don't have that. Mm. But we never think of those things that we have. Instead of that, we think of things we don't have. And that really makes us sad and stressed out. It makes us raise our goals. It makes us raise our standards. It makes us want to do much more than we can. And obviously, we'll get stressed out. Recipe for stress, that's what it is. So be happy about what you have. Count your blessings. You may not have it all, but you have so many things. You know, you would have worried in the past. Now, for a moment, I want you to think about this. You have worried about a lot of things in the past. wouldn't you? Many things would have troubled you. Have they helped you? Has worrying helped anybody? Hmm? Or has it helped you to work out a solution for the problem that you are in? Obviously, no. It hasn't. In fact, it has stressed you out, it has troubled you, made matters worse. There was this lady who was telling me about her problems, and now that she has resolved her problems, we could laugh about it. But she was talking about her past. She was saying how she had, she was newlywed and she had got into her husband's home, and where she was very troubled by her in-laws. And somehow, there was a shift in location. She had moved on to another location because her husband had got that location. He was transferred there, and she was very happy there because she didn't have any interference from the in-laws. 6 months down the line, the husband and wife were talking, and the husband suddenly said, I'm trying to get back home. So she said, why? Why do we need to go back home? Are we taking a break? Are we going on a vacation? He said, no, no, I want to go back home and settle back there. That's after all home. Mommy and daddy are there, and they are old and they need us. I want to go back there. This lady had a panic attack. She knows what she suffered there. She was so troubled there. She was so disturbed there. She knows what exactly she went through there. So she did not want to go back there. You know, so what she did, she tried to talk her husband into not going there. She said, "No, we shouldn't be going there. It's a very stressful situation for me. Our children are happy, or you and I are happy. We are fighting less. Everything is working out for us. We can do whatever we want. We can go when we want, go out whenever we want. It's not like your dad sits at the in the hall and just raises his eyebrows when we go out and questions us. We have no freedom there." No, the husband was upset. He said, "Ah, they're my parents. I have to take care of them. How can you talk like this? We'll also be old," and a lot of things. Now, this wife knew for certain that her husband was going to try on for a transfer, and they were going to be back home. And this lady was stressed, so stressed that she could not sleep. She would, day in and day out think of only one thing: now we are going back. Now we are going back. The she lost all her peace. She started getting very, very disturbed. She would disturb her husband. There were a lot of fights. The children were disturbed. The whole home environment was, disturbed. And this lady would, try to go to sleep at night. And even if she fell asleep, she would wake up at, say, 2, 3 a.m. and again keep thinking, what will happen now if I go back there? What will my situation be? And that would not allow her to sleep. And she would get up the next day disturbed. Isn't this what is happening to so many of us? I- You know, Later on, she continued to say this was, say 20 years back. Now, 20 years, we are in the same place. We never went back. In the meantime, the in laws passed away, and it happened in such a time when we were there and at home. So they died in our arms, both of them, one after another. We could take care of them in their last days. Everything went on well. Everything time they needed us, we went back and we helped them. So we did our duty. Everything went on well. You know, everything went on well. But what was not well was the what was not well was the thought, the lady's thought, that caused us so much of disturbance. Got it? This is what we have to focus on. Situations are not in our control. Worrying does not give you, does not give you any solution or satisfaction or joy. It can only kill your joy. It can only kill your progress. It can only disturb even the people around you. So what you need to do is appreciate what you have, appreciate where you are, appreciate what you are. Remember how successful you have been, all that you have achieved in your life, and tell yourself, I can do it again. I can achieve again. I can be successful again. Yeah. And also you should learn to appreciate those around you. Many of us are quick to find faults, to criticize, but when the same thing is done to us, we go into depression. When you appreciate, someone will appreciate you also. And first of all, learn to appreciate yourself. What do you do when somebody tells you, "Hey, looking good today"? Really? This is a old dress. How can I be looking good in this? Oh, I've been having a very bad headache. You're telling me I look good? Hey, you know, you cannot appreciate yourself, so you cannot take a compliment someone when someone passes that on to you. There are times when you're also disturbed by the compliment. Say, why? In what connection did this guy? In what was his motive by giving me this? In this passing this comment, was he being sarcastic? Was he making fun of you? And then that's another, another reason to stress out. Yeah. So learn to appreciate yourself and learn to appreciate those around you. I think the stress level will decrease greatly. Yeah. Tell people you're doing well. Go to your child, go to your brother, go to your sister. Say, hey, that's wow, something you did was really good. You know, when you do that, that will help them to work better. They will help them to see the good in you also, and never stop doing what you can. What you can do best. Continue doing that. Yeah, and also the last thing I'd like to say, by being stressful, you cannot be happy. But by channeling your stress right, you can be successful and you can be happy. Happiness matters. All of us have a right to be happy, and those around us also have a right to be happy. Let's work on that. Yeah. Then finally, I'd like to conclude by saying, you know, you cannot blame anyone for your stress. You cannot say, many times you say, why are you stressed? Oh, my situation is so bad. My business is not working. My mother in law is bad. My husband is bad. Oh, my boss is a tyrant. My kids, I know they are in the wrong path. A lot of reasons are there to be stressful, but they are not the cause of your stress. The cause of your stress is your thoughts. Yeah. It's the way you think, it's what you think, it's what you allow yourself to think. So it's a great thing, like, think good things, think things that make you happy, think of your past successes, think of a joke, think of something, a joke that you shared with a friend, think of a funny moment that you shared with your friend, and you'll bust out laughing, or you'll at least it'll bring a smile. Somebody will ask you, what are you smiling about? Share the joke. Let them also enjoy the joke. Maybe that joke will put them in the right spirit. Yeah. So what I believe the greatest weapon against stress is your ability to choose thoughts, to choose what you think. Like, if you were going shopping, you see a lot of stuff. No? In the past few months, we are doing a lot of online shopping. Every time these online platforms would send us a mail, and then we would go through their stuff and buy things. Yeah. And how many things did you see? Generally we don't tire in seeing these things. We see a lot of things. Yeah. And finally we decide on one. We decided on that because we like the color, we like the pattern, we like the design, we liked everything about it. That's why we want to buy it, right? um, why don't you focus on thinking like that? You think thoughts that make you happy and stop thinking about thoughts that make you stressful. So as you think of good things that make you happy and joyful, also you will move into a thought pattern that will show you how to get out of the difficult situation. No need to stress. No need to stress at all. So let's do that. Let's stop blaming people for our stress. Let's blame it on our thoughts, and let's choose what to think. Let's choose to think right, to think beautiful things, to think happy things, and that's what will help us. Yeah. So that's what I had to tell you about what stress is and how you can overcome it. I hope you enjoyed the session. I love talking to you. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Maneesha. Thank you for such an amazing session. So, yes, I really enjoyed it, and this helps me a lot by overcoming my stress.
Wonderful.
So,
Then it's worth it.
now yes, we will look forward for some of the questions that were asked
Okay.
by the students.
Yeah.
Okay, so here is the first question. How we can find that we are stressed even if we can't accept it?
Um, Emotional discomfort. Again and again you're disturbed with thoughts. uh, you're not happy at all. Something that makes you sad or putting a pressure on you. See, I'm a person who never thinks stress is wrong. In fact, a stressful situation for me is to do something right. So I never feel stress is wrong, but I feel that if it pressurizes you, it's wrong. In that way, something doesn't look right, something disturbs you. those thoughts of that particular failure or disappointment keeps coming back to you, that's how you identify that you're stressed. Have I answered the question to your satisfaction,
Uh,
or do you
I
want me
hope.
to speak on?
Yes, yes, yes. I got your point. Maybe
Mhm.
Shafi, you got your answer as well. Uh,
I hope
okay,
if
so
he's asking some other question on that, Shafi, I'd be happy to answer.
yes, Shafi, you can post your question in the comment section. Till then, we'll move towards the next question,
Sure.
Manisha. Okay,
Yeah.
so the next question is, how do you communicate about your stress with your significant others?
I don't know if you should communicate it. I think your body language will tell it all. Aisha, I think the way you walk around, those people close to you will know that something is not right. I think you notice that about your people around you. You know, if you're slightly troubled or disturbed, someone who is close to you will ask you, "What's bothering you? What's up? What happened? Why are you disturbed?" I don't think you need to really verbally say it. I think your body language will tell it all. The frown on your face, no smile. I think that will tell. Yeah.
Yes, I guess our closed ones will definitely point out that if we are in this stress.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So, our next question is, what if our surroundings are negative? Then how can we stay positive?
I think I spoke about that in the last part. You know, why should the surroundings matter actually, Manya? I love your smile. I can see your picture there. I think you're a very happy person. I think the negative surroundings don't affect you actually, Manya. But what I say is the focus should be right. Getting to the point, the focus should be right. A lot of things could be wrong. Yeah, I understand. Especially in a situation like this, a lot of things are wrong. But there are a lot of things that are right too. Why not focus on the positive? Things that are good, that are right. So whatever is not right, let it be. When you focus on your positive, that's when you can work out the negative to become positive. It's like this, the more you fill yourself with positivity, you will get out, uh, you will be able to overcome your negativity. Also, when you are a positive person, you will be able to spread the same aura. You see a person gets into a crowd and that person is very sad, the entire atmosphere becomes sad. What's wrong with this person? Now this person came, Mr. Gloomy, Miss Gloomy. There's a lot of disturbance. But when everybody is tense, but one person comes and cracks some jokes, laughs, so much of positivity. Now you choose what you want to do. Even if the negative environment is negative, you can make it positive with your positivity. That's what I think you should achieve, Manya, and I think you're capable of it also. Can you go on and move on to the next?
Yes. So the next question is from the Dimple. My question is, sometimes multiple rejections or failures leads to stress. So how to keep yourself motivated?
Rejections are not always. I'm sorry about that. Uh, Again, the power has decided to
No
go.
problem, Manish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as long as you can hear me. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Mm,
Yes.
yeah, multiple failures, multiple rejections. Like I said during the talk, failure is a stepping stone to success. You know, failures are time to take stock. What I say is no if you are wrong, or if you can improve. To get over these failures, to get over these rejections. Rejection need not be also because just because you're bad or you're wrong, you're a loser. Greatest people have had failures. In fact, I always like to see people who have had very difficult situations and made it big. In fact, in life, if you see those people who have made it big, have had a very difficult path. They had many rejections, many failures. They were not born with a silver spoon in their mouth. They were not walking on the red carpet. They were walking on thorns and thistles and rocks, stones. And that's what made them so persistent to pursue success, and they made it. Rejections don't matter actually. In fact, if you have a rejection or a failure, take stock. To summarize this, I'm repeating myself. Take stock, See if you are wrong. If they are wrong, that's their problem. You don't have to, hold on to the grudge or anger. That will only build stress. Saying that, oh, I was right after all. They were wrong, and they have made my life miserable. It's not going to help you. It's going to kill your positivity. It will make you a very negative person. What I would say is, check the situation, see if you can improve. If you cannot, just walk away. Move on. Move on. There are better things, and better moments. Better things are yet to come. Let that be your slogan. Whatever the situation is, there's something good that is coming your way, and make way for it. If your hands are full, like, you cannot fill it again. It's only when your hand is empty you can, take something, receive something. So empty the negativity and fill yourself with positivity. I hope you're satisfied with my answer, Dimple. Can we move on to the next month?
Uh, yes, our next
Done.
question is from Mohit. How to control our conscious mind and how to control our anger?
Hmm. Anger issues. Yeah, it gets the better of most of us, Mohit. However much we try to be, say, I don't know, I don't want to get angry. Then there's something that, these are triggers. Actually, there are triggers within us. Does a fat person like to be called fat? Obviously not. He knows he's fat, but doesn't like to be told, hey, you're fat. Nobody likes to be told that, because there's this hurt, this pain. I'm trying my best to lose weight, but I'm not losing weight, and that's why I don't like anybody telling me that I'm fat. So there are these triggers. So if you are having an anger issue, Mohit, if you can identify these triggers, what is it that is making you angry? Like, there are times, like, generally children, when their parents say something, they immediately attack. It's because there is something in there that has caused them hurt in the past, and so they cannot take that word again. So that's what you have to work on. Saying that when you get angry, why did I get angry? Take stock of the situation. Again, I say the same thing. Take stock of the situation. Why did I get angry? Why did I lose control over my emotions? Why did I think that way? Because there is something that is there. If we are like this, whatever is saved on my laptop is there. Yeah, it's there. I can retrieve it at any time. The mind also is like that. You know, whatever has happened in our life, we remember, and at the right moment, it could just open up, and it could trigger a very negative reaction. So when that negative reaction, whether sadness, grief, jealousy, anger, any of these negative emotions are triggered, find that root. And if you could really, find the root and work on it, like, I think it's the path to maturity. And I think you can control your anger issues. How to control your conscious mind? The answer, I think I answered it with this. Find out why certain things happen. Like, it's like if you have a fever, if you're running a temperature, you'll take a medicine. But by taking the medicine, you're bringing down the temperature. You may not solve the problem inside. It might be some kind of an infection. You need the proper medicine for that. So anger is shown on the surface, but the problem is deep within. You have to work on that. When you work on that, that's when you can control your mind. And when situations like that come in future, you just laugh it out. Yeah, Mohit. Shall we move on to the next one, Mansi?
Yes. Yes. So, our next question is how to control ourselves from a situation of lashing out at others? From Divya.
Lashing out at others. I think
Yes.
it's a similar thing that Mohit asked. Yeah.
Asked. Yeah.
Mm. Since you said lashing out, what you have to remember, Divya, here, what is unsaid and remained in you, you can flush it out of your mind. Yeah. But what you have spoken out and what someone has heard, and if that word of yours has pierced the heart of that person, there is no way of you flushing it out. That person could have that against you for a long time. And like I said during the session, you never know when someone can come to your aid, or when you need someone's help. Yeah. By allowing yourself to lash out at somebody, you're making enemies. That person could cause a lot of stress later, because they can defame you, they can do a lot of things, they can work against you. You have to remember that. And that's what I think will help you to control yourself. Okay, this situation can lead to this. I don't want that, and that's why I take control of it over here. I control my tongue. And why your tongue is working extra time is because of the triggers inside, because your, the anger, the hatred, you might have something against that person. So when that person said now something, maybe even in the best of your interest, you take it out as a negative thing and you lash out. So it's not a problem with that person. You have to work on your anger issues. You have to find out why you get irritated and angry. You'll have to, more you work out on it and the more you overcome it, you'll be a more happier person. Yeah. Can you move on to the next one?
Yes, correct. Okay. So our next question is, what kind of damages does emotional distress can cause?
Both physical and mental. Physical, there are a lot of uh, diseases that we spoke about. Physical is, it can increase your pressure. It can give you diabetes. I have even heard some of my friends who are doctors saying that certain kinds of cancers can be stress oriented. You can have a bad stomach. You can have a bad stomach, indigestion problems, chronic indigestion problems. Whatever you eat does not agree with you because, you cannot uh, tolerate your emotional distress. This such is on such a high that it's reacting, your body is reacting. You're disturbed. Because you're disturbed, you disturb everybody around you. So it's what is not only physical now is affecting the people around you. So when anybody sees you, instead of coming and saying, hey, hi, hi Divya, how are you, they would say, oh, Divya has come, let's get out from this place. Let's get away. People will start running away from you, and that will only increase to your emotional distress. Also mental distress. When you are stressed, when you are emotionally distressed, you're very sad. You're very sad, you're very depressed. That cannot help you to be productive. It will cut down your productivity. How can you build up your career that way? But a positive thought, in every situation, if you can look for the positive and work on it and build that positivity, I think it's a great mantra for success. You know? So also nervous breakdown, depressions, uh, all kinds of mental diseases, sleeplessness, insomnia. All this are caused by stress, isn't it? You go to bed, you keep on thinking about it, so you don't sleep right. You're not having enough of rest. You get up the next day, you're mentally tired, but you have to face your day. You have to do a lot of things. Very, very bad situation. Again, what happens is you go to sleep, you sleep, you have these nightmares. You whatever is playing on your mind. Oh, what if this happens? What if that happens? Everything negative. You see it happening, and you get up in the morning and saying, what if my dream comes true? You're really disturbing yourself completely and totally. So it's an all around disturbance. The stress can cause all around disturbance. When you are stressed, channel it right. That's a great path to success. Yeah, Divya. Anything else, Mansi?
Yeah. So we'll take the last question. Our last question is, how can one turn stress into an opportunity? By Aisha.
My favorite question. This is great. I think we
Yes.
spoke about this also during this one I told you about the story of the lepers. They could have died of starvation, but they chose to do something about it. One of them at least motivated the other. You see, it was just you. Can you imagine this persons were sick with leprosy in a situation when they were treated as outcasts. They couldn't mingle with people. They could not do anything. Yeah, in that situation, when they were hungry, they decided to do something about it. So if you can turn your stress into an opportunity, like I say, it's going to be a success. So why are you stressed? Find out that first. Step number one. What is stressing me out? Have I set my goals right? Or have I, you know, am I thinking that I can do much more than I am capable of doing? Am I trying to achieve more than I can achieve? Yeah. If you have not set your goals right, set them right. It's always nice to start small and then slowly grow. It's less stressful. So you have achieved something great on the first step, and then you have the confidence to go on to the second level, and then you go on to the third level. Okay. Second thing about stress is, like, when you are stressed out, take it into your mind, Aisha, that you are not going to find a solution. So you have to calm yourself down for that. So try to read some books that make you happy, or some whatever is your interest. It could be a movie, it could be an outing, it could be the right people. Find those people, talk to them, try to get your stress levels down. Try to think rationally. Meditation, a great walk in the fresh air, these are all great things that you can do. And then use the stress situation to work for your advantage by identifying your weak areas and working on those weak areas. Why did I fail this exam? Because I did not do this. So I need to do this. I can't blame it on anybody else. Okay, I did not do this. Also, again, I repeat myself, don't go into self pity saying that, oh, I'm like that only, I cannot do. That's not going to help you. If you have a weak area, work on it and overcome it. If you're, trying to push yourself beyond your limits, give yourself a break. You need it. You will want to be happy. You you uh, you know you are destined to be happy, and it is your right to be happy. I hope I've answered that to Aisha's satisfaction.
Yes, Manisha, I hope you answered all the questions. So, with this, we are about to close this call, close this session. So, thank you so much for joining. And thank you, Manisha, from the entire
Thanks for having
Mentorsity
me.
family and the
Thank
students
you for having
community
me.
for helping them and guiding them on such a topic which is very much needed to everybody with the with I don't think so that this is the problem only with the students.
It
Every
is,
age
it
group
is.
person yes, every age group person feels that this stress and anxiety is on the top, and this is the problem which everybody faces right now.
Yes.
So thank you so much for enlightening us, and
Thank
thank you
you.
audience for joining us. Thank you so
Yes.
much.
Wishing you all the best. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.